In an extraordinary moment that sent shockwaves through global media outlets, Pope Leo XIV stood before a gathering of world leaders, clergy, and journalists at the Vatican's St. Peter's Basilica when he turned to Karoline Leavitt, a rising, political star from the United States, and uttered the words that no one in the crowd could have expected. "Take off the cross." The room fell into a stunned silence as the young conservative figure, known for her outspoken Christian values and iconic silver crucifix necklace, looked bewildered. Cameras flashed while whispers of disbelief spread like wildfire among the spectators. Why would the Pope, a figure meant to embody the highest spiritual authority in the Catholic Church, request such a thing of a believer so clearly aligned with his faith? Leavitt, trying to comprehend the intent behind the order, hesitated. The Pope, however, held up his hand, not in anger, but with an eerie calmness, and repeated the phrase once more, this time with more clarity and emphasis. What followed wasn't a rebuke, nor was it condemnation, but a jaw-dropping sequence of actions that left even the most skeptical observers struggling to find words. Instead of reacting with rage or dismissal, Karoline slowly reached for her cross, visibly confused but trusting the moment. As she unhooked the chain from around her neck and held it delicately in her palm, the Pope motioned for a Vatican official to bring forward a small velvet box, wrapped in white and gold embroidery. The crowd leaned in with anticipation. The box was handed to Pope Leo XIV, who opened it to reveal an ancient relic, one that hadn't been seen publicly in centuries. Gasps rippled through the hall as he gently removed a golden medallion encrusted with what many believed were fragments of the original cross of Christ. He stepped forward and placed the relic into Karoline's hands, quietly whispering words that were later translated by Vatican aides. "Let your voice carry more than symbols. Let it carry sacrifice." With that, he made the sign of the cross over her, blessing not only her mission, but also her burden. Vatican historians and theologians quickly realized this was not merely a symbolic gesture, but a deeply strategic one meant to awaken a new wave of spiritual resurgence among youth-led political movements. The world was watching, and it had just witnessed a turning point. Within hours of the event, social media exploded. Hashtags like Joshua Cross Exchange, Pope and Karoline, and Sacred Moment began trending globally. News outlets speculated feverishly, some calling it a masterstroke of spiritual diplomacy, others questioning the deeper implications of such a dramatic moment between church and politics. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt issued a statement of reverence and humility, calling the experience life-altering and a call to live more fully in action rather than appearance. Religious commentators dissected the Pope's intentions, suggesting that his actions were not about removing symbols, but about transcending them, pushing believers to embody their faith beyond physical representations. Rumors even began to swirl that Pope Leo XIV was preparing to unveil a new spiritual directive aimed at unifying disjointed Christian movements across continents. Whether one viewed the moment as controversial or visionary, no one could deny its magnitude. It had forced millions around the world to confront the intersection of faith, politics, and symbolism in ways that hadn't been done in decades. Inside the Vatican, officials confirmed that the relic given to Karoline was indeed authenticated as a piece believed to be from the true cross, once hidden in the Vatican's underground reliquaries. Only the most devoted scholars and cardinals had ever seen it, and its appearance at this pivotal moment marked a profound gesture of trust. Pope Leo XIV, known for his willingness to bridge ancient traditions with modern dynamics, was now being called the revolutionary shepherd by both admirers and critics. International leaders began to weigh in. Some praised the gesture as a brilliant move of global unity. Others accused the Vatican of politicizing sacred artifacts. Regardless of interpretation, Karoline Leavitt found herself transformed, not only in how she was perceived, but in how she carried herself. She canceled previously scheduled media appearances, choosing instead to retreat into a monastery in northern Italy for a week of contemplation and prayer. Papal aides confirmed that she and the Pope had a second private meeting, the contents of which remain sealed, adding even more mystique to the unfolding saga. In the weeks that followed, global Christian movements saw a noticeable spike in youth engagement, prayer rallies, and spiritual volunteerism, a trend many began calling the Karoline effect. Religious leaders from across denominations reported increased attendance and renewed interest in foundational teachings. Meanwhile, Pope Leo XIV delivered a speech that clarified his stance. Faith must be more than worn. It must be lived. The cross is not only a pendant, it is a promise, a challenge, and a calling. His words echoed worldwide. Karoline Leavitt eventually returned to the United States, no longer just a political figure, but now seen by millions as a symbol of a generational revival. She began working with interfaith organizations to promote spiritual awareness in governance, sparking debates in political circles about the role of faith in leadership. Whether one believed in divine purpose or simply masterful symbolism, the message had been sent loud and clear. A new wave of faith-driven consciousness had begun, and it started the moment one cross came off, and a deeper one was placed in her hands.